Welcome to the Thrive in Fashion podcast, where we explore the role of the fashion buyer, the knowledge and skill sets required for success, and the impact of the role in your retail business. In each episode, you will learn about industry best practice and how the buyer's role is evolving in this ever-changing, fast-paced industry. And now, here is your host, a fashion industry expert with over 20 years of experience, Elisabeth McHale.
Whether you're planning the next season's product range or looking to make strategic decisions about your inventory, a thorough review of your past season's performance is essential. Welcome to this week's episode of the Thrive in Fashion podcast. My name is Elisabeth McHale. In this week's episode, I'm talking about how to analyze your retail sales and understand your product performance. The best way to plan your next season's product range is by doing a full review of your past season's performance. As much as I love the creative side of product development and seeing products reach the shop floor, that's only half of the story. The other half is about making sure the numbers are hitting the targets set and doing an in-depth sales analysis of all of your products. Understanding the numbers and having strong sales confirms that the strategy planned and executed with the products purchased by your customers was the correct one. It confirms that the research done, the trends recognized that were appearing in the market were in line with market expectations and our customers' expectations. Every season, for me, that's where the magic happens. I love the start of the season, I love the creative process, and I love researching. But it's an ongoing process because the more in-depth your research and your market knowledge, the better the execution of your strategy will be. This is an important and fundamental concept to understand because when you have really understood where the market is going, when you've pivoted midway when necessary and changed initial decisions made during the planning process, right up to the stage when you finally sign off on a range that gets delivered to stores. Watching the subsequent sales reactions and your customers' positive reactions is really rewarding, and that's where the job satisfaction really comes from. Remember, in order to reach that point, there are many challenges that can crop up and come your way, but that's what you do as a buyer. When talking about analysing your sales performance, it's not just something that you do at the end of the season. It's something that you start doing the minute your products hit the shop floor. The whole process of analysing your sales allows you to immediately make informed decisions and strategic decisions, not just about that product, but also about the remainder of your planned deliveries or products for the season, the planned stock that you have committed to. If you're conducting weekly sales review meetings and keeping a lessons learned report, this information altogether becomes super valuable at the end of the season. There can be things that you forget happened during the season unless they're written down at the time that they happen. Building up that story week after week of what was happening during the trading season, what events took place that maybe you hadn't foreseen or perhaps planned for. For example, you might have experienced some late product deliveries due to unforeseen weather conditions, or your goods were delayed at customs. These are critical points to remember and to avoid a repeat scenario of those happening in the next season. So, how do you go about the review process and manage this effectively? I cannot overemphasize the importance of your weekly sales review meetings. These are not just routine check-ins, but really pivotal moments to capture not just the insights and data that's vital for your end-of-season review. But during these meetings, you should be documenting and reviewing the product, not just looking at the numbers, but pulling out the samples and double-checking and cross-checking everything from the sales performance numbers to include customer and store feedback if relevant, and any logistical issues that might have happened. It's great to see and acknowledge the best-selling styles, but a lot of answers for your future decisions can come from some of the slow-selling lines. The documentation or records that you keep will help create a really comprehensive overview. By doing this, it makes it much easier to refer back to specific instances and pinpoint changes in trends that impacted your sales. It ensures that nothing important slips through the cracks or is forgotten about. When conducting the final post-season review or analysis, you will use all this information again and review it from multiple different viewpoints. You may want to break down by week or by month. And it's usually good to start at the top of the department and drill down. And what I mean by that is looking at top level at your categories and working down to subcategories and then down to style and colour and even size level. Starting at the category level will give you a broad overview of generally what categories performed well and what didn't. Did certain categories outperform others? What was that? What was the reason? Was there a specific trend driving those sales, or were there particular promotional efforts that paid off? Once you have a clear understanding at category level, you can start to drill down to the more specific details, particularly at subcategory level. Analyze the performance of the subcategories and then the performance of different styles, colours, and sizes. In some cases, there may not be any surprises and everything traded as you had expected. But using the available data, you can try to understand more deeply what combinations sold the best. Were there any styles or outliers that really significantly underperformed when you had expected otherwise? For example, was there a style that was really on trend, that was the must-have everyone was talking about, but it actually fell flat when it hit the shop floor? Understanding the nuances of timing or the speed of fads and trends will help you to tailor your future product ranges to better meet your customer demand. Another crucial aspect of your post-season analysis is reviewing the sales and stock levels from your OTB reports. These reports provide a detailed look at your stock levels from a financial perspective and help you to understand how well that you manage your stock throughout the season. Some questions you should ask are, did you have too much stock left over? This could indicate that you were overbuying or you had slower than expected sales on a lot of lines. On the other hand, did you sell out too quickly? This might suggest that you underestimated demand, or you underestimated the sales patterns on particular styles. And this is where that buyer's instinct really comes into play. I've often heard from less experienced buyers that they're nervous about committing to something because they had never bought it before. But that's missing the point of being a buyer. You've got to have courage of your convictions, and if you have done your research and planned your strategy correctly, you should be able to identify and have confidence to back the styles that you believe are going to trade really strongly for that season. Of course, as buyers, we can't always get it right, but it's the buyer's job to get it right 90 to 95% of the time. Both scenarios of underselling and overselling provide valuable insights, and this can inform your buying. Selling out too quickly or styles that didn't move provide valuable insights that you will use to inform your buying decisions for the next season. It's also important to keep an eye on what your competitors are doing. This really goes without saying because it's something that you naturally do. It's not a done and dusted once a season process. It's about constantly keeping your eye on the market, observing ongoing and emerging trends, both in the market and also in your competitors. What are they doing? Are they making any changes? Are they offering products or showcasing trends that you may have overlooked? This external analysis can provide context to your performance and help you identify additional opportunities or threats. For example, if a competitor's similar product significantly outperforms yours, what factors do you think contributed more to their success? Did they have a better range of products? Did they have a wider range of options? Was it their marketing strategy? Was it their pricing? Or maybe product features? Understanding these elements can help you to refine your approach. Staying mindful and in tune to market trends allows you to anticipate shifts in consumer preferences. Sometimes you can see something happening before it actually does. When you're constantly observing the market, you can start to see when small changes happen or patterns start to emerge. This sort of foresight is invaluable for staying ahead of the competition and ensuring that your product offerings remain relevant and appealing. If you've got to the stage where you have a problem, then sometimes you're really too late. Learning from your analysis forms the basis of your next season's strategic plan. When executed properly, this will help you to achieve your sales and margin targets. You're building on what you have each season. It's not like you start from scratch. By understanding what worked and what didn't work, you can make your data-driven decisions that will enhance your product range, optimize your stock, and ultimately drive the business forward. If you break this down into some actionable steps, what I would advise are as follows. Number 1, document your lessons learned throughout the season. Keep a detailed record of everything. Your insights, any issues, any feedback, because this will be your go-to resource when you come to the end of the season review process. Number 2, conduct a top-down review. This means start at category level, go right down to style, colour and size level. Now you may not have to do this for every single style every season, but you definitely need to do it at category and subcategory level, and pay particular attention to your sizes and selling ratios, just to make sure that these are correct and not skewed, where you are constantly left with particular sizes. Number 3, identify any changes in sales patterns or anomalies at each level. Analyse your OTB or your open-to-buy reports. These numbers are what will drive your decision making and ensure you're managing your finances correctly. Number 4, monitor your competition and trends. Stay aware of what's happening on the high street or what's happening with your competitors. What are they doing? And keep an eye on market trends which will inform your future strategy. Finally, number 5, develop your strategic plan. With all of the insights that you gain from your analysis, use that to address any shortcomings and leverage your strengths for the next season. That's it for today's episode. Remember that one of the keys to successful seasonal planning is a thorough review of your sales performance. Doing this will help you stay informed and help you make strategic decisions that drive the business forward. If you have any questions or even topics you'd like me to cover in future episodes, please feel free to leave a note in the comments. In a few weeks, the Thrive Members Club will be reopening doors for enrolment and subscription. This is a monthly base membership where I offer new masterclasses every month, live Q&As, and you have the advantage of networking with a peer community of fashion buying professionals. And to celebrate this reopening, I'm hosting a free 3-day workshop series from the 17th to the 19th of September, after which the doors will open for enrolment for a limited time. There is a link in the show notes if you wish to attend the workshop series. Until next time.
Thank you for listening to today's episode. If you enjoyed it, make sure to like, subscribe, follow, and share the show. For more of Elisabeth's industry tips and to learn more about how you can develop your buying skills, visit thriveinfashion.com. There you can find show notes for this episode and every episode. Also, register for the Thrive in Fashion program and sign up for weekly news delivered straight to your inbox. Until next time.